He was 7 years old the first time his grandmother slapped his hand. He was walking past the cemetery near his house when he pointed at a grave, curious about the name carved into the stone. The slap came fast, not hard, but sharp enough to remember. She didn't yell, she just whispered. I'm Kole Obasa, and I share stories from Africa, some ancient, some recent, all powerful. Today's story is about a taboo that exists across many West African cultures. A rule so important is taught before a child can read. Why don't we point at graves? The answer is more complex than you think. Across West Africa, from Nigeria to Ghana, Senegal to Cameroon, there's a shared belief pointing at graves invites misfortune. The consequences vary by culture. Some say the finger that points will rot. Others say the dead will follow you home. Some believe you'll dream of the deceased, unable to rest. But beneath these different versions is one consistent truth. The dead must be respected. In many African traditions, death doesn't sever relationships. The dead remain part of the community, ancestors who watch over us, guide us, protect us. So to point at their resting place is to treat them as objects of curiosity rather than people worthy of reverence. It's not superstition, it's about dignity. There's a story told across West Africa. Versions of it appear in several communities about a young man who refused to listen. He was traveling to a neighboring village when night fell. The path took him past a cemetery, old graves, some forgotten, overgrown with grass. He saw something unusual on one of the graves, a marking he had never seen before. And without thinking, he pointed. His companion, an elder from his village, grabbed his hand and pulled it down. "What are you doing?" the old man screamed. But it was too late. That night, the young man couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the grave. Not the stone itself, but what lay beneath, a presence, waiting. By the third night, he grew desperate. He returned to the cemetery, and the elder went with him. The elder brought offerings like water, kola nut, words of apology. They stood before the grave and the elder spoke. He explained that the young man meant no disrespect, that he was ignorant, not malicious, that he came to ask forgiveness. And slowly, whether by coincidence or something more, the dreams stopped. The story doesn't explain exactly what happened. It doesn't need to. The lesson is clear. Disrespect has consequences. And sometimes, apology and humility can set things right. So what's this story really about? On the surface, it's about respecting burial sites. But deeper, it's about how we treat the dead, and by extension, how we treat memory itself. Cultures where oral history is sacred, where ancestors live on stories, forgetting the dead is a kind of death itself. To point at a grave, to treat it as a mere object, is to say, you are forgotten, you are no longer one of us. And in communities that survived slavery, colonization, and displacement, that survived attempts to erase their history, remembering is resistance. The rule isn't just don't point at graves. The rule is honor those who came before you. Because one day, you will be the ancestor, and someone would have to decide whether to remember you with reverence or just point and move on. Today, we live in a world obsessed with the new, the latest trend, the next viral moment. We scroll past 1,000 images a day and remember none of them. We've lost the art of reverence, of pausing, of saying, this matters, this person mattered. Maybe we don't point at graves anymore, but how often do we scroll past a memorial, a tribute post, an obituary, and move on like it's nothing. How often do we treat the dead and forgotten as objects in our way rather than people who paved the path we walk? The next time you walk past a cemetery or see a memorial or hear someone's name spoken with love, don't just move on. Pause, remember, honor, because one day someone will have to make that choice for you. So that's the story of why we don't point at graves. Every week I explore stories like this: folklore, history, mystery, stories that make us think and help us remember. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments section. Have you heard this rule in your culture? What does your elders say about respecting the dead? Next week, I'm telling you a story about Adze, Africa's vampire that takes the form of a mosquito. Trust me, you've never heard anything like it. So subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, remember the dead are watching. So treat them with respect.